Hello, everybody. Let's let everybody jump on here. Give you guys a minute to log on. Meantime, I'm going to move some stuff around here. Good to see everybody here. Just let me know if you can see and hear me, just to make sure everything's looking good. Thank you, Casey. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Thank you, Casey. Yep, it's all right. I'm happy to be here for your lunch. Hope you're having a good lunch. All right, guys. It's great to see everybody here today for this month's webinar. I have a personal goal to do one per month here. If there are particular topics you want me to cover and prepare information on, as always, you just let me know and I'll do my best to get it to you. But this is like the first of a three-part kind of series that I'm going to do, which I'll tell you a little bit more in the beginning. The chat is open, so if you guys have questions or anything, you can feel free to just throw it in the chat. I will try to keep my eye on it as I'm going through this presentation. If for any reason I miss you guys, at the end, I'll just tell you to let me know what questions you have, and I'll try to answer everything that you have. So do not worry, but I'll try to keep one eye on the chat here and there. Let me share my screen. There we go. Let me break the chat out here. There it is. Perfect. Now I can see that along. All right, perfect. All right, you guys, just do me a favor. You can see my screen. Just type a 1 in the chat. Let me know that you guys can see that. Perfect. 111s. Thank you, guys. Good to see all you guys here. Perfect. Okay. What we're going to talk about today is how you can get more people interested in your business. So this is about not only generating new leads, but getting you seen, getting you in the public eye, building some buzz around your business. I think it's important to not only get leads in, but to have a presence where everyone knows about you. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. First, before we do that, I wanted to do a quick shameless plug here for our new Overdog Insider newsletter. This is a physical newsletter that I send you guys in the mail. It is 100% free, much like this training here today. All you have to do is sign up for it, and you can just, if you're on a computer, you can just use your phone to scan that QR code, and you will go to the page where you just give me your address and I will send it to you. Now, the one caveat is it has to be in the US. Unfortunately, I cannot print and I can't ship overseas just yet. All right. And Elise, you say you like getting the mail. Awesome. It's the only thing that's not a bill. Yeah. So one of the things I like to do is always try to do different things, the opposite of what a lot of other people are doing. I noticed my mailbox was pretty thin. And I said, why don't we beef it up a little bit? A friend of mine, Dominic Hodgson, who a lot of you know, has been telling me to do this for a couple years. And I finally decided to take his advice. And yeah, why not try it? So if you would like to get it for free, just sign up for it and we'll send it in the mail. The new one, if you sign up for this now, you'll probably get the April one, which is going in the mailbox very, very soon. So sign up if you like. Again, it's free. If you don't like the QR code, you can go to overdogdigital.com/insider. All right. So now that that's out of the way, a lot of people have this mentality in their business that if you build it, they will come. Now, question I have for you, is that true? Does it happen like that? I think we can all agree that for the most part, that doesn't necessarily happen. Or maybe in the beginning that was true, But then all of a sudden now it's getting a little sparse. It's like a ghost town. Okay, and what happened? We're not doing anything different. Why would it change? Well, because the world around you is changing. Your business hasn't changed, but the economy, the marketplace, the ecosystem has changed. So we need to make sure that we are changing with it. All right. So if you build it, they will not always come, and especially in this industry where a lot of our businesses are not on busy roads. They're off in industrial complexes out in rural areas because of zoning. So it is very difficult to get seen unless you are very proactive about doing it yourself. All right. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. You have to take responsibility and action to get your business seen by the public. Okay. And I think a lot of people are looking for hope marketing. Okay. You don't get a business by accident, a big, thriving, successful business by accident. It is done by steps. And a lot of people are always saying, when I ask them how the people hear about them, they always say, oh, word of mouth. Okay. To me, word of mouth is hope marketing. You're just hoping that someone else does your marketing for you. Now, sometimes your customer base, and if you do things a particular way, a good portion of them will. However, I wouldn't, if it was me, I would not wait for your customers to be the ones to do it. I would take action to be proactively getting in front of people. All right. Hope is not a plan. All right. So we don't want to have no hope marketing. All right. We're going to do it proactively. We're going to make it happen. So let's go over what we're going to talk about here today. All right. Just kind of like three things. We're going to talk about how you can attract people towards your business so that they come to you on their own. You don't have to have someone refer you. We're going to be pulling people in there. All right. Okay. We're trying to help new people continue to discover your business. And we're going to go over a bunch of different strategies that you can generate new leads consistently into your business. All right. Does that sound good, everybody? Just put a 1 in the comments if you're with me and that sounds good and you're fired up and you're ready for this. All right. Show me some love here. I want to make sure that you guys are with me. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yes, I do appreciate the participation because otherwise it seems like I'm just talking to myself here. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you humoring me. Okay, so for those of you who may not be as familiar with me, you're thinking, why should I listen to this guy? So my name is Fernando Camacho, also known as Fern, and my business here is Overdog Digital, which is a digital marketing agency designed to help you guys, pet businesses. That's the only businesses we work with. So, and my mission is kind of like my mission statement, okay? I help dog daycare and boarding pet businesses attract, convert, and keep more customers without overwhelm or burnout, which is just so prevalent in this industry, by creating winning marketing campaigns and providing the business guidance to build momentum and spark long-term growth. That is the key. We don't want to do things that just have this little blip of an uptick, We want to have stuff that's going to keep you successful long term. I've written a bunch of books, one of which you guys may have come in contact with, which is the Dog Daycare Marketing. Hold on a second. Oh, sorry, I gotta. Somebody's asking to record this. I am recording it, so don't worry. This recording will be made available to you guys. Sorry, I just got an alert come up. So the Dog Daycare Marketing Blueprint you can find on Amazon, as well as my other 7 books at the moment. I'm toying about writing another book by the end of this year, but we'll see what happens. But that's who I am. Basically, I'm a dog guy. I'm a marketing guy, and all I want to do is I want to help you guys, pet businesses. Like I'm such a fan of entrepreneurship and having your own business and steering your own ship and stuff. And I want to make sure you guys are successful to do the things that you love. So let's talk first, before we talk about, running, trying to get, people into our business. I think it's important to know who you're trying to get. Okay. Because it's not everybody. It should not be everybody with a dog. That can't be your ideal customer. All right. If that is, you're going to have a very diluted message, which will impact your success. It's better to be very clear on the exact kind of customer, and that is both dog and person, that you want to serve. All right. So I want you to think about a couple things. All right. We want a customer that understands your process, okay, how you do business, and likes the fact that you do it differently maybe than some other people. You want customers you enjoy doing business with. I'm surprised at how many people have tons of customers that they don't particularly care for. All right. Remember, you get to craft your business any way that you want. You get to choose the customers you want to work with. Okay. So I think you want to make sure that when you're looking at what kind of customers we're trying to attract, they're ones that you actually like doing business with. We also want to make sure we're attracting the people that can afford your services. Okay. There's nothing worse than spending a lot of time and money on people that are not really in a position, to maybe pay for your services. So you want to make sure that everything we're doing is attracting that person that can afford your services. And we want someone that's going to come in regularly. All right. If we're talking about daycare, we don't want someone who comes in once every 2 months. Right. We're looking for someone who has a little bit more of a commitment, who understands the process and why it's beneficial. We're going to educate them as well, but we want people who are, if they're more motivated for that, they're going to become better customers. So once you get clear on who your ideal customer is, then the marketing will kind of start to take shape. All right. So I want you to think about right now, think about your ideal customer. And again, it cannot be anybody with a dog. All right. I'm going to give you some tips here, but I want you to get kind of clear on specific, because when you're doing this, because what your marketing should do, it should not only attract this perfect customer, but it should also repel everybody else, because you don't always time on people that are not right for you. So that's why you're creating this brand, this image, and your messaging is attracting the right people and at the same time repelling the people that you don't want in your business. Okay, so what kinds of dogs are the right fit for your environment? Okay, it's probably not all dogs. Some organizations, they are really good with very active dogs. It's a high energy, and other ones are a little bit more quieter, and they actually do better with dogs that are maybe a little bit more subdued, So, I mean, think about what dogs fit in right for your environment and which ones do not. What kind of people, all right, fit in for your services? So as example, for me, when I was a dog trainer, my ideal clientele were families, were young families. So people who had jobs, they had a couple kids, and they had a dog. That was that's who I was focusing on. It doesn't mean I didn't service other people who were single or maybe a little bit different than that, but that's who I was speaking to, because that's who I enjoyed working with, and that's who I think I felt I gave the most value to. All right, so think about what kind of people are right for your services. All right, are they young professionals? Are they maybe a little bit older, or do they have families? Think about that, all right, because that's going to affect what you do to get them in here. And who do you like to serve? Okay, what kind of dogs do you like in your facility? You want to be able to have fun, all right? This should bring you joy. What kind of people do you love dealing with? All right, these are the people you want to try to attract to your business. Think about the demographics economically. Okay, how do they fit into your business? Which ones are the right fit for you? What about the location? Okay, geographically, where are you? Okay, I know here I'm in Montclair, New Jersey, and if I go one town to the left, those would be my ideal customers. Okay, if I go a town over to the right, it's not my ideal customer. It's a very poor demographic, and they're really not willing to invest in dog training, and really don't understand. They have a different relationship with dogs. So for me, I knew I had to understand the exact locations in my area and which ones were right and which ones weren't. Think about age group. Okay, who is your perfect clientele? Are they on the younger side of things, or do you prefer, and maybe your business is set up more for a little bit older? Again, you're not discounting. You're not saying just because we're focusing on one group, we're saying we're never going to take the other. This is just who our messaging is going out to, because we want to attract that, because that's the right fit, the best fit for your business. But it doesn't mean that you're excluding everybody. Okay, it just means that this is what we're focusing on. And think about the personality, right? The types of people you like to work with. And it could be the dogs too, type of personality in the dogs. And once you get clear on that, it's important to try to stay on target, all right, and not, veer off in too big a direction for too amount of time, trying to service everyone, so you'll try to create some messaging for, I see a lot of people sometimes they're trying to appease to a very specific demographic, which is only a tiny part of their customer base. And I'm like, I really don't know if that's worth the effort and money. We have to, I like the 80-20 principle, 80% of your results come from 20% of your clients and stuff. So who are they? And I want to find those 20%, and that's the ones I'm going to focus on. So try to stay, once you figure out where your, where your sweet spot is, try to have everything you do in your business, the services that you provide and roll out in the future and stuff, you're trying to cater to those people because those are the bulk of your clientele. All right, so then once you have an idea about who you want to serve, then it's about making sure that we get them to find out about your business, and we got to get them in there, right? So that's the next step. We have some challenges though, okay? There are definitely some challenges now more than ever. One, in this day and age, it is harder and harder to get the attention of people. I saw the stat recently, and I can't remember exactly what it was, of the amount of messages that we are bombarded with every day. I think it was something like 5,000 to 7,000 different messages or advertising things or like media or something we get assaulted with. So it's never been harder to get attention. And that's why I think a lot of times people say, well, this used to not be a problem, but now it's a problem. And the real issue is that the world has changed and there's more and more information being thrown at us. Also, this pet industry, it's awesome, but that's also brought a lot of competition. Okay, so now you're not only competing with all of the other messaging, now you're having more competition for your specific services in your specific area. So again, this is where what used to work may not be working. So now we got to try something different. So you're kind of using, I like to use a lot of analogies, sometimes over excessively, but we're trying to go fishing. So you're basically, think about you're going fishing, we're trying to get leads. You're trying to get people into your business, all right? And the question we have to ask is, what kind of lure are you using to attract people? And is it the right one based on your ideal customer? Okay. That's a big question that I think a lot of people don't think about. All right. So this is your on and offline appearance and your presence, how you show up both on and offline. Your image, your branding is going to attract certain kinds of people. And if it's not in line with the person you want to attract, the ideal clients you want to attract, then you're going to be stuck with a whole bunch of people that aren't right or you don't like serving. So a lot of times I'll get a client or a potential client come in and they'll tell me, we're luxury, man. We're luxury. We're going for the high end, we're going for high end, high ticket type of customers. And they tell me this. So they're looking for, these are the kind of customers on the left here that they're looking for. However, I look at their business and their business looks like this old woman with the rollers on. Like that's what their business looks like. So if your business looks like that, there's no way you're going to attract this type of clientele on the left. Okay? There's a big disconnect there. And I see that a lot of times where people say they want. I remember I had one client they kept telling me how they are luxury and they're we're like I forget what they use. They use a hotel chain. They're like, we're like this hotel chain. And I'm like, really? And I'm looking at their website. I'm like, I don't think so. And I'm looking at their play equipment and it's like wood, it's like unfinished wood and stuff. I'm like, this does not say luxury to me. I think there's a disconnect there. So how can we, where are the points that we can make sure that we're matching up? Definitely in your building, the appearance of your building. If you say you're trying to attract a luxury high-end clientele, the appearance of your building better showcase that. All right. Otherwise, when they show up, they're like, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. Then you go in the interior, the lobby. What does that look like? Okay. The website. Your website is your digital storefront. Okay. If you do not have a website, so if you are a fun, whimsical, rustic type of atmosphere, your website should be like that. So people can feel that feeling. So they'll be, wow, this is the kind of place that I would like. All right. All your social media platforms have to dictate that as well. So that means how they're set up and also what you're posting on a regular basis. All right. We need to have it be consistent with who you're trying to attract. And then your staff. Okay. Your staff has to show your staff as a representation of you. So a lot of times I'll go in and I'll see these people wearing ripped up t-shirts and stuff and everything. If you want to attract higher end people, they have to look it. So a great example of this is Canine Resorts. Okay. My buddies there at Canine Resorts, they understand luxury. They are positioned for the top of the price scale. They're positioned as the Ritz-Carlton of dog daycare. And if you walk in their place, you feel it. Everything from the building to the lobby to the experience they give you with the customers, how the staff present themselves and look, everything is screaming that this is the top. All right. So make sure if that's what you want, it has to be reflected in all these different ways. Otherwise, again, there's a disconnect and you're not going to attract the people that you want and you're not going to give the experience that you want to give. So let's start with your website. I'm going to give you some tips on how to make your website a little bit better, to present in a better way. All right. This is very important. Okay. Your website is more important than you know. All right. Thanks to COVID, the digital world exploded. All right. Digital usage it was always going up, but COVID accelerated things quite a bit. So it's never been more important to make sure your appearance and impression online is a good one. All right. So I'm not going to go into too much details because I'll probably do. I've done whole webinars just on your website and stuff, and we will do that in the future, but let's just give you some quick tips. Make sure you have an updated design. All right. Design trends change. Okay. So if your website looks like it was built in the 80s, we got problems. All right. Design is always evolving. So make sure it is not only well designed with an updated design, but you want it to be clean. Less is more. All right. Usually it's not about what you can add to your website. It's how you streamline things to make it very easy for people to get the information that they want. It should be what's called fully responsive. Okay. There's a difference between fully responsive and mobile optimized. All right. A lot of these website builders are mobile optimized, which you click a button and it changes it for mobile. All right. Unfortunately, everybody has a different size screen. Every phone is a different size. There's like 5 different sizes in phones. There's different kinds of tablets, and then you've got computer monitors and stuff. So fully responsive means it dynamically adapts to whatever the device that someone's watching on, to making sure it gives them the best experience possible. All right. That is very important, as most of your traffic will come from a phone. You want your website to answer the questions that are in their head. They're looking for something online. They're going to your site because they have a question. All right. They're looking for something. You want to make sure your website answers those questions in their head as soon as possible. Okay. So that's why your homepage, it's very important. Your homepage has to make them know that I'm in the right place. I'm looking for this thing. Let's say it's daycare or boarding. As soon as I come to your website, I see that I'm in the right place. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. Because you have a very short period of time, seconds, to actually make an impression for them to go further. So we want to make sure that that homepage is really well optimized to answer the questions that they have as soon as possible, and then kind of entice them to go a little deeper. And it should always showcase what's called your USP, which is your unique selling proposition. What makes you better and or different than your competition? All right. Like if I ask you why would someone go to you instead of your competition? You better have a good answer. It can't just be, because we care more, no. You got to be able to convey why you're different and better. Everyone should have a unique selling proposition, and you should lean into it. All right. If you're small, it's awesome. You can do things the big guys can't do. You can give personal attention. You can, every dog's name and stuff. That you should be leaning into that. All right. If you're a bigger place, you're going to talk about your resources. We've got these giant safety air filtration systems. We rotate the packs all over the place. Talk about what makes you different and better. Okay, that's going to be able to tell someone why I might go to you instead of this bigger place, or instead of this smaller place, or instead of whatever. So make sure you are recognizing what makes you special, and then you lean into it. And you need some social proof. Okay, we need some way that others say you're good. All right, it can't just be us saying how good we are. Others have to. So definitely online reviews and testimonials are a big part of this. It could be any local accolades you got, like, you know, the best of Essex or the best of whatever, you know, the counties that you live in. You know, if you've won any awards like that, definitely showcase those. I don't really like them too high on the homepage. I like them a little bit down towards the bottom near the footer, or maybe on an about page and stuff. But definitely, personally, I like reviews on every page. Okay, I don't like a dedicated testimonial page, because no one will go there, because no one's looking. No one's coming to your site just to look for the testimonials. They're looking for their questions I need answered. So I like to pepper the testimonials throughout the site. So I like one or two on every page of your website, so that no matter where they go, they're constantly subconsciously being hit with people saying you're awesome, especially around pricing. I always like testimonials around pricing, because if they see your price and go, wow, they're a little expensive, but then they see these people saying how great you are, like, oh, I guess they're worth it. All right. So you want to have some social proof on there. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get in people's view. Okay. Because I will tell you right now, people are looking, they're searching for the services that you provide. Okay. But question is, will they find you and your business? All right. If they're searching for it, that's a hot lead. Okay. They're actively looking for daycare, grooming, boarding, training, whatever it is. You need to be in front of them. So how do we get seen? All right. Well, one of the ways we can do it is with search engine optimization. Now, I'm going to give you some very basics here. SEO is a very complex topic that changes almost daily. Google is always changing and updating and tweaking their algorithms. So you always have to keep on top of it. And it's a long-term strategy, because it takes time for results to show and the effects of what you're doing. You know, here's a bunch of stuff that matters to SEO. Again, I'm not going to go into details. This can get really into the weeds. It's very technical, to be totally honest with you. I don't understand all of it. That's why I have an SEO guy, because they do. So, but it's important to set up there's nothing worse than having a really great design website that nobody can find, because it's not set up for the search engines to identify it. Because what happens is someone goes to a search engine, they type something in, and if your website is not set up to tell Google that, yes, this is what I'm looking for, they will never send it. So I was just talking to a client earlier, or a potential client earlier today, and I saw that her homepage didn't have much content on it. And I was like, uh-oh, Google doesn't know what to do here. If someone's searching for it, there's nothing for Google to find to say this is the right spot for it. So you need definitely some keywords on there. Make sure they're keyword rich of what people are searching for. SEO, there's two arms to it. There's your website SEO, and there's also your Google business profile. So I'm hoping that everybody listening to this has a Google business profile. If not, which I would be totally shocked in, go claim your Google business profile right now. All right. It's very important, because that will show, your Google business profile will show up on the map view in Google, which is on page 1. Okay. So even if you can't rank your website, you could rank your Google business profile by just making sure you're optimizing it. So how do we do that? Fill out all relevant info on there as much as possible. Fill out on that profile and make sure it stays accurate and relevant. And then you can also submit your business information to a number of different directories and listings and citations out there. And there's a gazillion of them. So there's, it's very time consuming, but you can start with the main ones, which obviously, like Facebook, all the social channels, Yelp, all these things are different directories that the important thing is your information should be identical on all of them. So your address should be written the exact same way everywhere. Your hours should be the exact same thing. And this is where a lot of people get in trouble, because if it's off on even one place, Google penalizes you. So this is the problem, is you put it all in one point, but then you update your Google Business Profile and you forget that all these directories now have the wrong information. So you want to try to keep it as updated as possible. There is a Q&A section actually in the Google Business Profile where you can put questions in. Think about the frequently asked questions you get. I would put them in there. So you ask the question and then I immediately would answer it. So there's like 3 or 4 questions in there that you are asking and you are actually answering it as well. I mean, it's set up so anybody can answer it, but I would go in, you ask it, you answer it, and make it like an FAQ section there. You want to upload a bunch of images, okay? And a little pro tip is if you take the images on your phone, make sure your location setting is turned on, because what it does is it stamps the picture with the location it was taken on. And if the location on the photo matches the location in your Google Business Profile, you get a little extra bonus Google juice there, all right? So take pictures of the front of the building, the lobby, every different service you have, just, upload a whole bunch of stuff. And then reviews make a big difference there as well. So make sure you have a plan and strategy to continue to get reviews. And another pro tip is respond to every single review, positive or negative. Don't get into a shouting match or a rant with people who leave a 1-star review, whatever. You just do something very professional, just reply. Here's the thing about Google. Google likes businesses that are active. So if you haven't changed your website in 2 years, Google thinks nobody's home. If you don't respond to the reviews, Google thinks nobody's home. Google wants to send people to active businesses. All right, those are probably the best ones, the ones that are still in business and stuff. So by responding to the reviews, you can actually post to your Google Business Profile. A lot of people don't know this. You can post to it. You can, having a blog on your website. All this tells Google and other search engines that you are active and very relevant. So that'll help you for sure. Now we'll talk again. Website SEO is very technical and confusing. So I probably recommend you find somebody who knows what they're doing, but you can do some basics. Okay, so let's go over some basics that anybody can do. Number 1 is make sure your service pages are separate to different pages. Don't have your services all on one page and have daycare, boarding, everything on the same page. Google is going to weight businesses higher who have dedicated pages. So if I'm looking for boarding, Google is going to look at all the pages available and say, well, this one has boarding on it with a whole bunch of other things. This one just has a boarding page. They must specialize in boarding. That's probably a better fit. I'm going to send them to that page. So you want to make sure they are separated out. Don't have all your services on a single page. I would have all your contact information in the footer. So it's at the bottom of the site and it's on every page. So that's just the same on every page. It has your information, your contact information everywhere. And then you want to have keywords and also the areas that you service. So this could be towns, it could be counties. You want to mention that. So if someone, types in, so dog daycare, Montclair, New Jersey, guess what? They are going to find yours says Montclair. Oh, this must be right. Okay, they service Montclair, New Jersey. So you just want to make sure you're looking at the keywords that people are searching for and making sure that they're on your site, basically. And then you're naming your pages based on what people are searching for. Okay, that sounds simple, but I see a lot of people kind of mess this up. One of the trends is to not call it boarding anymore because that's not politically correct. So we want to call it lodging. I do not recommend doing that. You can call it that internally. You can put that down on your website, but I wouldn't call your page lodging. And the reason is, if you look at the search results, nobody searches for lodging. Everybody searches for boarding. Even kennel, which is kind of not really an updated term now, is searched a lot. Like amazing amount of people still search for kennel. Okay, so I would much rather have kennel than lodging on my site because people are going to search, they're searching for that more. So make sure, you're not, like a lot of people are, you're trying to be creative. I had this mistake too when I blogged for my dog training site, is I thought I was very creative and I was so proud of myself for creating these really like funny kind of titles of blog posts. And once I learned about SEO, I realized I just totally did that so badly. Nobody Nobody searches. I remember one of my favorite one was, it was called Why the Dog Ate the Couch. And it was all about chewing and dog destructiveness. Nobody searched for why the dog ate the couch, but everyone was searching for how do I stop my dog from chewing. So I had to go back and rename all my blog posts and stuff. So think about what people are searching for. And the key thing is what we're trying to do is we're trying to get in front of people. All right. So here's a picture of my wife and my dog, Bowie. Bowie is slightly annoying in that he is a beagle and he's obsessed with food. He knows exactly what time dinner is supposed to come, and he tries to manipulate us to feed him earlier just about every day. So this is a picture of, it's a little before dinner time, and he literally gets in your face. So he jumps up on your lap, stands on your chest, and stares inches from your eyes. Like, he's not taking any chances. He's like, do you see me? Check your watch. I think it's time. We have to do that for our customer, to get in front of customers, to get in front of leads. We have to make sure we're just as gently pushy as Bowie is. So how can we do that? Definitely engaging on social media platforms, okay? And it's important to choose the right platform based on who your ideal customer is, okay? Because there's different demographics and different people on different platforms. I see a lot of people just going on and on about TikTok and how this, we gotta get on TikTok and TikTok. And I always ask, oh, are your customers under 25? And if they're like, no, and most people aren't, then I'm like, why are you going to be on TikTok? Sure, there are some people over 25, but 95% of the users of TikTok are under 25. So you only have so much time and energy to expend. You want to make sure you're doing it where most of your customer base is. So if your customer base is 40 and up, you're going to go to Facebook and Instagram, okay? If your customer base is under 30, definitely Instagram. Maybe you might try TikTok. So think about where your customers are. Doesn't matter what platforms you like and use. It's what your customer base uses. And if you don't believe me, survey your customers. Ask them what social media platforms they use regularly. Whatever they tell you, that's where you want to be, all right? And you want to engage in social media as much as possible. Here's the thing about social media. A lot of people use it as a broadcast platform. We just post stuff and, it's designed to be interactive. So we're trying to get them to engage as much as possible. So ask questions, try to involve them, run little contests and stuff. We want it to be as engaging as possible. And create content, okay? That is what will attract people, okay? Yes, I love running ads, but I think it's about making sure what is valuable to the end user, all right? So I like creating valuable content. We're not just jamming offers down their throat. We're saying, how can we provide value, right? And you guys have been with me a while. I say this all the time. I love quoting myself. The more value you provide, the more valuable you become. So think about how you could provide more value to the marketplace. Get in their inbox, okay? Email marketing is not dead. It's definitely harder to get out of spam filters than ever before. So you got to make sure you set everything up properly. But the inbox, unlike social, has less distractions. And people still check their email many, many, many times a day. And you don't have all those other like flashing lights and pictures and stuff as you do on social media. So use email marketing. Whenever you're trying to think about what we should do, you're trying to create what I call a talk-worthy experience, okay? Why would somebody go tell their friend about this, all right? And this is why I say having satisfied customers suck, okay? Satisfied customers don't tell their friends, okay? You want to have raving fans, all right? You want to do something so different, so unique, have a level of service so unlike other places that they are compelled to go out and tell others about it, all right? If you can create experiences, all right, that are talk-worthy, they will go out and they will tell other people. That's where your word of mouth marketing will really start to take hold and they'll do a lot of the work for you. But you can't be average, okay? There's no room for average. You've got to be exceptional. So let's talk about some content you can create. All right, I told you we should create content. Well, let's get into it a little bit. I love showing some behind the scene footage, okay? One of the big disconnects between customers and pet businesses is most of the time, besides maybe if you do it a quick tour when you first go there, they don't see what goes on behind the lobby, okay? And that's where all the action is. That's where all your services are fulfilled. And the paying customer sees none of it, all right? So you have to show them what goes on back there so they can see what they're paying for. Because if they don't see what's happening, they don't know all the work you're putting in. They don't know all the stuff you've done on the back end. Okay, their dogs cannot tell them how awesome you guys are. You have to show them the value, because otherwise they start to think, I don't know what goes on there. I don't even know if this is worth it. Okay, I'm just assuming it is. They tell me my dog had fun, but I don't know. All right, so show them behind the scenes. Let them see what happens. Let them picture the environment, what goes on there. All right, that'll go a long way. Introduce your staff. Let them meet the people that are taking care of their dog. Okay, this is a family member. It is a very personal thing. All right, they will feel so much more trust if they trust the people that are watching over their dog. So let's introduce your staff members to them. Maybe take some time to showcase different services. So I like showcasing boarding. This is why our boarding is different. Here's how we feed the dogs. Here's how the dogs come in and out. This is how we tuck them in at night and everything. Show them. Let them see the services. Showcase each of your services. You can also highlight individual customers. I think this is a great way to kind of show how awesome your stuff is without, beating your chest and saying we're so great. Is you say, hey, here's little Cooper. Okay, Cooper is a 5-year-old min pin who's been coming here for a year. When he first came in, he was really nervous, a little under socialized, but he enrolled in our enrichment program. He started to build confidence, and now he is running around with his buddies. And so you're kind of showcasing an individual dog, but you're also highlighting how your services have benefited him. Okay, that's an awesome way to make that person whose dog that is feel great, and it subtly advertises all your services. And educate them. Okay, so we're going through this change in the daycare industry, where daycare used to be a lot of babysitting, and it took us a while to kind of explain why dogs needed daycare in the beginning. I remember when I first became a dog trainer, I had to really talk people into it. They're like, daycare for dogs? What are you, crazy? We had to educate them on why that was important. Now we're saying enrichment is good. So now we have to re-educate everybody educate them about enrichment. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it means. So we need to take the time to show them and tell them why enrichment is good, or anything of your services, why your services are valuable. Video is a great way to do this. All right. So, I love, obviously the book is great. I wrote books and everything. I'm sure you got value out of that, but maybe not as much value as you guys who listen to the podcast. Okay. Hopefully you all are listeners of the Overdog podcast. There I can go a little deeper. And that's not as good as this content video, where I'm actually showing you, you're hearing me, you're seeing visual aids with it. So video creates a much deeper connection than just written word or audio alone. So I think if you can utilize video in some of this, I think it just takes the relationship to a much more personal level. And then we could try paid ads. All right. If you've never experienced with paid ads, I always say you could do it organically. That's definitely still a worthwhile endeavor, and definitely part of your strategy, but you got to wait for it. Okay. That stuff is not immediate. Or I could just give some money to Google or Facebook, and I can get in front of people right now, today, without having to waste all that time. Is a monetary investment, but if you got to get clients right now, it's a great way to do it. I find that digital advertising, way better return on investment than traditional. And by traditional, I mean newspaper, coupon books, billboards, even radio and TV ads. You can't really monitor and measure the success of that, and you got to pay up front. Whereas in digital, you pay as you go, and you have real-time data, like real time in the moment. I know exactly how many people saw the ad. I know if they took an action, and then I can, if it's not working, I can turn it off before I put out all that money. So that's why I love like the cool thing. I don't know if you understand how awesome it is that we're alive and have businesses at this time in humanity. Like, it has never been easier for little small businesses to compete with large businesses. The playing field has been leveled with the internet. We have the same tools, the same ability. It used to be, back before, the internet existed, you couldn't compete with big companies to get on TV and stuff. Everyone can compete now. It's really awesome. The two big players are Google and Facebook. Those are the two that I mean, there's others, but those are the ones where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. We're always running ads for my clients, and we run a combination of direct offers, and we do some branding as well as engagement and entertainment, not entertainment, education. So we're constantly rotating these campaigns to warm people up and move them towards a buying decision. All right, so you can't just run offers all the time, all right, because you'll exhaust that audience. You have to continue to warm people up. Okay, I see someone came in here. Elaine, you said, how effective is digital advertising when your area is only 20-mile radius? It's perfect because you can target. That's the cool thing. Like, if you do like a radio ad or a print ad, you can't tell them only show it to the people who have dogs. No, everyone's going to see it, whether they're your perfect client or not. With digital, I can target hyper specifically people who just have dogs, who are within 15 miles of your location or whatever your range is. Okay, I can even get more granular than that than if I wanted to. So it's better to niche down and to target very specifically. And then you can also test different targeting audiences and stuff to see which converts. But you can also do things like in Facebook, I could upload a customer list. These are all people that pay you money. I could upload it and then say, hey, create a lookalike audience, because Facebook knows a gazillion things about us. They have like 500 points of information on us. I could say, take these people, and I want you to find other people that look just like them. And they will create a lookalike audience of people just like that. Okay, and those are, so you can do that's a more of an advanced maneuver. But yeah, it's really cool because you can hyper target it. All right, so I told you this was one of 3 that I'm going to do. So here's where we are. Again, this is what we do at Overdog. We try to attract new customers to the business. We try to convert more of those leads into paying customers. And then the goal is to increase their lifetime value by retaining them, making them raving fans, and repeat customers over and over again. So I want to cover each of these areas over the next couple of months. So this was all about attraction. Now, in the next month, we're going to do conversion, and then we're going to talk about how to continue to make more money from your clients over time and keep them coming back again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay, so that's it. I will take any questions that you guys have. If any of you guys want help with this stuff, type the questions in, and I'll get to those as maybe you guys can think about that and type those in now. And I'm just going to tell you real quickly what we do here at Overdog. If you want us to help you with some of this stuff, we have 2 main things for you: our Done With You service and our Done For You. Done With You is our group coaching program. It's the Inner Circle. It's an awesome group of people. I see a bunch of the Inner Circle members on this call as well. We get together twice a month. I say, what do you need help with? And you'll get my advice as well as everybody else on there. And you get a whole bunch of courses with that. All these webinars that I do sit in the members area there, just $97 a month. And then if you want a little bit more help, this is where our team joins your team. So that's when we're going to run the ads for you. I'm going to write all your ads. I'm going to upload them. I'm going to monitor them, optimize them. I'm going to work on you on improving your sales process. We can do all graphic design. I have software that does really cool automations. We do a lot of text message marketing. You also get our staff program, you access to Inner Circle, and monthly coaching. So if you're interested in that, we have to make sure you're the right fit, because we only take, just like I told you guys, you got to make sure you're working with the right clients. That's the same thing we do here as well. So you can apply, and we'll see if you're the right fit, and then we can discuss it. All right, let me see some questions here. Sarah. All right, for the Google profile pictures, when you take it with your location settings on, do you need to upload it to profile from the same device? I don't believe so. No, I believe you can upload those because they're stamped on the image itself. So you could then have, you could have someone else take it, forward it to you, and it should go upload right into there. And then you can just upload those anywhere. That should help. Britt, opening a new facility, when do you recommend to start marketing or creating content to share on social media during the entire build or just a month or two before grand opening? So good question. I usually recommend, definitely you want to get your website up ahead of time. So it's the first thing I would say is while you're building out, also be building your website. And then you want to, as you're building the website, you want to at least have a landing page where people can give you their name and email to sign up for your pre-opening your early bird list, basically. And what you're going to say is we're going to give you first access to it and pre-opening specials. All right. And you're building that list. Now, I usually recommend building that list about 30 to 90 days prior to your expected opening. Nothing tends to go according to plan, so you may push that out. But if you get people in that list early, you have to keep nurturing them. And that's where I would, I want to invite people into the process. So show them, look, we got drywall up. This is where the daycare rooms are going to be. This is the boarding suite. Kind of keep them updated so you can keep the buzz building. You want to keep sharing all that information with them so that, they don't kind of forget that they signed up for this and this is coming. You want to kind of build the buzz. And then before a couple of maybe like 30 days before is where you start your big marketing push. You have that pre-opening sale. So like 20% off, if you sign up before our doors open, it's got to be big enough to motivate them. Because what you want to do is you want to get people set up so that day one, you're just waiting to get people in there and run credit cards, so that way you don't have to stress, day one, we're going to have dogs in there. If you have the ability, you start doing temperament tests. If you have a dog that you can use to see how they are, so that they can just start day one. All right. That's kind of how I would do it. I hope that helps. Jill, what is the cost for marketing? The packages depends on the different packages. We have the accelerator package, the dominator package. Accelerator package starts at $12.50 a month, and it doesn't include ad spend. So for us, the best clients are ones with multiple services. So you've got daycare, boarding, maybe grooming and or training. If you just have daycare or small, under 20 dogs a day, you're probably not ready for that. I would steer you towards the inner circle. But if you are, at that capacity and you're ready to take that next step, then I think the bigger packages will be good for you. Sometimes it's okay to start with the inner circle, and you could always move up from there. Okay, let's see here. Do I have suggestions on how to keep marketing campaign emails from going to spam folders? Does it have anything to do with words to avoid more of the platform? This is a tricky, complicated thing as well. I feel that most email providers have become like overprotective parents, and it's harder and harder, especially this February. Google and Yahoo enacted some pretty strict regulations. So a couple of tips for you with email. Number one, don't be mass emailing people from a Gmail account or a Yahoo account or a Hotmail account. You need to have a branded email. So info@yourdomain.com or whatever. You cannot be sending it from a free email account. They will trigger spam filters for sure if you're going to send one email to like a whole bunch of people. The other thing you have to do is you have to set up the DNS records, what's called DMARC, and I think it's SPF. Again, this is nerdy tech stuff. In the back end of your DNS records, you have to set that up. I don't even know how to do it. I paid someone to set it up for me. It cost me about $50. And what it does is it just tells the platforms, especially if you're emailing through like your software, like Ginger and stuff, you have to make sure you change the settings in Ginger and stuff so that it matches those domains. So for our software, a lot we're creating a special domain just for sending emails. It's complicated. I know this is probably above what most people can handle, but the other thing you can do is, yeah, you want to avoid things. The words to avoid are like free, all the spammy type of words. But the key thing is to making sure you have that branded domain, get the DNS records kind of set up. And then most good email marketing programs, you can see your open rate. So you can see how many people opened it, okay, how many people didn't. And you can get ideas, okay, do I have a problem? Because you don't want to, the worst part is you're spending all this time and money and people aren't even getting it. So it's tough. I know, and the problem is it's a bit technical to do. All right, Jill, if you are moving, should you switch your website before the move or at the same time of the move? I mean, if you're moving, depends, I think, how far you're moving. Are you rebranding? If you're not rebranding, you could keep the same site, so there's no reason to switch, change websites at that point. If you are rebranding and moving, again, I would treat it like if you're moving to a totally new location, it's like you're opening a new place. So again, I would start that marketing ahead of time. Even if your website is good, you can just use the same website. You're just gonna, maybe change the content a little bit. If I tell me if I'm not understanding you correctly, Jill, but I think that's it. Let's see here. Renee says, if you use MailChimp, will they take care of DNS? No, they will not. MailChimp is your email provider. Your DNS records will be where your domain is. So wherever you bought your .com or whatever, that is where your DNS records are. And you would need to make sure they're there. If you go to the site that I use, it's called Upwork. Upwork, just as it sounds.com, and that's where you can hire virtual assistants everywhere. And if you just type in, I need someone to help with email deliverability and set up DMARC, and you'll see all these words there. If you just Google like Gmail and Yahoo email regulations or whatever, you'll see all the stuff, the tech stuff you need to do, and you can just post a job there. I would say $50 will probably get it done. That's what I did, and I had that done for some of our clients and myself. Jackie, on Facebook, do you recommend a boosted post on or ads, and should the audience be changed? If so, what would you recommend? I typically don't recommend boosting, only because you're limited with the amount of data that you have, and you can't do as much as you can by using the ads dashboard. So I have never boosted a post. Well, I shouldn't say, I don't, for my clients, we never boost posts. We always are doing it through the ad dashboard. So the only reason I would boost a post is if it's just an engagement or branding ad. So you're not looking to track conversions or get leads. Then you could do a boosted post. It's very easy to do. So if Facebook unfortunately does not make it easy. It's very complex. They do not make it easy at all. So that's an easy way to do it. Just boost it. Again, I would just do that for like a branding or an engagement piece. If you're looking to convert people, I would go through the ads dashboard so that I can track conversions and I can see how many people converted. And I use what's called Facebook lead forms. So they fill out their name, email, or phone number right in Facebook, and then it calculates that as a lead. So Facebook knows. The thing is, if Facebook can track how many leads you got, it can then optimize to find people just like the people who converted already. So it gets better over time. Again, a lot of this depends on how it's, again, getting a little deep in the weeds here. But if, like I said, the short answer to that, if you're not sure what you're doing and you're just trying to get some awareness out there and branding, boosting is fine, without a doubt. And then the audience, I would always do specific dog interests within a geographical area. But then like know your area. So like for me, because I have such a diverse, where I live, there's multi-million houses one way, there's a very urban, poor environment the other way. I don't do within 10 miles of my house. Also, if I do 10 miles of my house, I'm in New Jersey, 10 miles puts me into Manhattan. Manhattan people are not crossing the Lincoln Tunnel to come over here. So I would have to make sure. So that's where my targeting is specific zip codes, where I'm just targeting, or towns. because I don't want to do. So it depends on your environment. You may have to be careful with your targeting. Okay, any last questions here? I think we're about at the hour mark. Thank you guys for sitting in. Hopefully you found that a little helpful. Just don't try to do it all. Pick one or two things and take action. Okay. Action starts one thing at a time. It can be overwhelming if you're trying to do all this stuff. Pick one or two things and then take some action on it. And then when those are done, you pick one or two more things. The key thing is to do in those bite-sized chunks, and you keep moving forward and you'll get there. So it's not too overwhelming. Question here. Will I do another ad walkthrough for Facebook ads? I don't know if I'll do one specifically for Facebook ads, but if you guys want it, definitely anybody in the inner circle in the members area, I have a walkthrough on how to create a Facebook ad. We did that live with in one of our calls, and I recorded it. So you inner circle members, go in the members area. You can go in and see exactly what I do to create a lead campaign. But that may be something we do in the future here. I definitely would put that. I do Facebook ads for almost every single client that we work with. So that's probably, I know Facebook way better than Google. But I'm experimenting with some cool stuff with Google now, which hopefully once I test it out, I can report back to you guys. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, guys, have an awesome rest of the day. Sign up for the newsletter. I get more information there, and let me know anything else you guys need help with. And of course, you always have the podcast and all that fun stuff. All right, guys, take care. I will see you soon.